America, we got to get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. Hey, good morning, everybody. Former Congressman Joe Walsh with you this Tuesday morning. I'm going to go off in about 15 minutes. And I say this a lot, and I've said this a lot, TikTok, haven't I? Donald Trump is the biggest crybaby in all of human history. When you think about that, Trump whines and complains and cries about everything. Man, he and his people right now on these tariffs, because his stinky tariffs are not going over real well, and people are upset with the tariffs and they're negatively impacting the economy and all the rest. Trump and his people are crying and complaining. Oh my God, Bob, they're whining and complaining about the unfair coverage of his stinky tariffs. We'll get into all of that in a little bit. But to start today, to have a more interesting, real conversation about Trump's tariffs and the impact on the economy and the impact on the real estate market and the impact on interest rates and everything, I've got with me this morning easily one of my most favorite people in the whole wide world, David Hochberg. David, everybody.
What's up? Good morning, bud.
Has been a friend of mine for a long, long time. He is the vice president of lending at Team Hochberg. This website you need to know about and memorize. It's easy to memorize. Lower.com. He is also, David Hochberg, TikTok, the host of Chicago's #1 rated real estate show, Home Sweet Home Chicago, every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. There is nobody more expert on the real estate market, in particular, the economy, broadly speaking, than my friend David Hochberg. David, welcome, brother.
Thank you, Joe. Just one minor correction. 56david.com is my website. I didn't mean to correct you, but 56david is our website. Lower.com will take you to the corporate site.
56david.com.
David.
Thank you, brother. 56david.com. Hey, I want to start broadly speaking before we jump into how tariffs are kind of messing with the real estate market. Just in general, post-Liberation Day, as you sit and analyze where we are with Trump's tariffs, take it away. What's going on?
Well, the Friday before Liberation Day, the 10-year note was trading at 388. Shot a text to all my guys on my team. Hey, get ready. We haven't seen the 10-year this low since October. So the 10-year note is what governs 30-year fixed rates, basically, to break it down. Liberation Day, Monday came, jailbreak on the 10-year fix. The market, everybody knows, the market collapsed. Typically what happens, pull money out of the securities, you put it into the safety of bonds, bond yields drop, mortgage rates drop. We start refinancing everybody, and then we're off to the races. That didn't happen, as everybody knows. Consumers dumped their money into money market funds and into gold and into German bonds. So the German bonds, the yields went down, which was kind of weird. That's when everybody's like, something ain't right here. Where's all the money going? I was watching on CNBC, which I have on religiously all day long. BlackRock's chairman Fink was on. He's like, they collected $12 trillion went into money market funds. That's $12 trillion, Joe, that would have gone into treasuries, that would have dropped the yield down, and we would have had 30-year fix in the low sixes. Instead, the 10-year rallied up and went the wrong way, and it shot up to 7. It shot up to it got up to 4 or 5-ish. That's when Jamie got his,
Jamie
Mr. Dimon, the chairman of Chase, had his one-on-one with Maria.
Trump was watching.
Told, of course he did. That's his favorite show. One of his favorite shows, and he got a message to Trump: "Hey, this ain't working out too well. 30-year fix shot up 0.75 of a point in 3 days. And we're still up 0.5 point from where we were prior to Liberation Day. Now, what does that mean? I'll break it down to you. $100,000 loan, Joe, 0.5 point. It's an extra $33.58 a month. So it's an extra 12 grand a year. You just rally it up. 200,000 at $67 a month, 24 grand a year. $400,000 loan, it's $134 a month. It's 48 G's over a 30-year fixed loan. So that's what it's done.
So
it's
David, that's what it's done. Where's it heading? And like, if Trump all of a sudden came out tomorrow and said, oops, my bad, forget about it, we're all done with these tariffs, has damage already been done?
Well, I'll refer to what Ken Griffin said, right? The head of Citadel, right? I mean, a smart guy, very, very rich guy, used to live here in Chicago, bailed out of Chicago because of all the nonsense here in Illinois, and moved down to Florida and started buying up all of Florida, right? What did he say? What's happened is it's damaging the American brand. It's making people less confident in doing business with America. When you damage a brand, it could take a lifetime to build that brand back. That's not what me saying it. This is Ken Griffin. Okay. Very smart guy. You know, he runs one of the largest hedge funds here in the world. And that's what he's saying. Jamie Dimon saying the same thing. And all these hedge fund, the people that run these hedge funds are saying the same thing, but they're just scared to death to like say these are bad, right? They've got to do it in cryptic messages because they don't want the backlash on their business from the White House. I mean, that's what's happening.
David, that's exactly what it is. And these guys like Griffin and Jamie Dimon, these guys who voted for Trump, pretty much knowing who and what he was, I could give a damn what they think. What they say is important because they're extremely smart on how this will impact the economy. But David, the regular folk who are listening to you and I right now, how is this impacting them, and how will it impact them?
Well, here, I'll tell you how it's impacting them right now. In just the past week, talked to a train conductor. He's been on the trains for 12 years, right? 12, 15 years. He used to do freight. He's now on passenger side. He was getting ready to buy a house now, right? I followed up. He's like, hey, follow up in the spring. So followed up, hey, bud, where are we at? He's like, I'm scared. He's like, number one, I don't know if I'm going to have a job. I see a lot of layoffs going on in my industry, and I lost a lot of money in the stock market, right? I'm not worth as much. So the money I was going to pull out of the market for the down payment's not there. So I'm going to hold off on 6 months. I'm going to see what's going on. So what does that do? That puts one less buyer in the market.
Yeah.
Okay. Now multiply that by thousands, if not tens of thousands. And if you're a seller, what do you want? You want as many people buying your house as possible. You want as much foot traffic as possible. So it's just supply and demand. I'll give you another example. I was talking to a guy last week, truck driver. Okay. He used to have, coming out of COVID, you couldn't find a truck driver, right? This guy, he's looking for extra work because he's got $40,000 worth of these SoFi and Main Street, all those short-term high interest rate loans that are just killing people today. $40,000 worth of those loans are costing him $1,800 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the equivalent of a $250,000 mortgage payment for 40 G's worth of these short-term ridiculous loans. He can't find a second job right now. He got cut back on his regular 40-hour week because they're not moving as much freight. Okay. Now blow it up bigger, right? I mean, just the big macro pictures. It's been reported in Bloomberg that there are 80 ships, cargo ships, coming back to the United States empty. Okay. What does that mean? Empty. Okay. No. So each one of those ships carries 8,000 to 10,000 containers. So you're talking 640 to 800,000 containers. So let's just say 700,000 containers. When those ships come back, there's nothing to unload. The crane operators aren't swinging 700,000 containers off those ships. Those ships go on to intermodal trucks inside the docks. Those dock workers that are on those trucks are not moving those containers around. The workers, I mean, it just trickles all the way down to the railroad workers moving the freight. It's just a bad thing.
So again, by the way, everybody, I'm talking to one of my most favorite people in the whole wide world, David Hochberg. David Hochberg, a real estate market guru. His website, 56david.com. David, I got that right?
That's correct this time.
56david.com. Memorize that website, TikTok, 56david.com. Nobody knows more about the real estate market more than David Hochberg does. David also has a phenomenal weekend real estate show, home show on Chicago's number one. It's actually Chicago's number one rated real estate show, Home Sweet Home Chicago, every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. David, WLS AM, right? What is that?
It was on WLS 4 years ago. So if it was 4 years ago, it would be there. Today it's on WGN.
WGN.
You're just crushing
WGN, David.
You're
Now answer me something.
Yeah.
Trump's got smart people around him. I know he has some not so smart people around him. They gotta be thinking about and looking at the impact negative that this shit is having left and right. What's going on?
Well, I don't know what's going on. Well, I do know what's going on. It's intellectual dishonesty, right? When everybody's like, these tariffs are going to be eaten by the countries that are shipping the product. That was bullshit when he was running for office, right? And then you've got Treasury Secretary Bessent out there, very smart guy. I was very happy when out of the people that were running, this guy looks like he's in a hostage release program, right? Blinking SOS. He can't lie. He's a horrible liar, right? So Howard Lutnick, right? He knows damn well these tariffs aren't good. Bessent knows damn well these tariffs aren't good. I was watching CNBC the other week, and I can't remember the guy's name. He said, we learned 3 things in business school, and he was right. Number 1, free trade's good. Number 2, tariffs are bad. And number 3, a trade war is very bad, especially when you drop a bomb on the entire world, because you don't know where to move, and these business owners don't know where to move. And more importantly, the institutional investors that invest in the United States. Why do you think our dollar is getting weak? Because the institutional investors are losing confidence, as Ken Griffin said, in the United States economy. That's why our dollar is getting weak. Our weak dollar is not good if you're looking for economic stability here in the United States. It makes goods more expensive coming in, and people are losing confidence. You don't want that. You want people buying our bonds, right? You want people flocking to the United States because it keeps yields down. And that translates into lower mortgage rates for everybody that's looking to buy a home or looking to refinance a home.
What, David?
So, I mean, that's where we're at.
David, what, maybe this is impossible, but what will the real estate market look like in a year?
Okay. So everybody likes to make a big macro statement. Well, it depends. I'll give you an attorney answer. Well, it depends, right? In a year, if we get all this stuff figured out, Liberation Day started on the 2nd of April. So we're almost 30 days into this. So we got 90 days until we feel the full brunt of whatever it's going to happen. Hopefully in the next 60 some days, we could get all of this mishigas, because that's the best term for it, figured out. And we get back to some sort of normalcy, and you keep, who's the uncle, the drunk uncle that comes out, the tariff expert?
Lutnick?
What's his name?
Navarro?
Lutnick is
Navarro?
the commerce guy. Yeah, Navarro. You keep that drunken bastard locked up in a freaking cage in the basement, because this guy's a fucking idiot. Okay, I mean, every time he opens, have you noticed you haven't seen this guy anywhere in the past 3 weeks? Because I think the adults, I think the adults have taken over. Right. So you put this guy out there for a couple of days, freaked the freaking hell out of the market, and he kept a drunken cousin in the basement, right, locked up. So I think if we could come to some sort of whatever we're in, I mean, the problem is nobody knows what we're in, right?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. So if you're Tim Cook and you wrote a check for $1 million for the inauguration, you got your box seats, okay, at the inauguration, and you got a cutout for your phones. Okay, so on Thursday, you had Howard Lutnick, our commerce secretary, who's a very smart guy, right? Very smart guy. Howard, Cantor Fitzgerald, very smart guy, right? He knows damn well that tariffs are bad. Okay, but he's on all the news channels Thursday and Friday. We're going to make iPhones here in the United States, right? Bullshit.
Crazy.
We're not going to make iPhones here in the United States. All right. And then on Saturday morning, I'm driving down to downtown to do my show, and then I get a blast Apple gets a carve out. So I'm like, all right, well, that $1 million
Yeah.
was a good investment from Tim Cook. I mean, it was good, a good millie put to good use there. But the challenge is my friends who own printing companies here in Illinois, one here in Northbrook, one up in Rockford, they don't have $1 million to get the carve out of their printing products and their aluminum plates and all that stuff that they get from overseas. And I'm like, can we, I was at a Hawks game with them. I'm like, well, can't you make that, can you buy the stuff here? He's like, you don't want to buy that shit here. He's like, it's all toxic. It's all chemicals. You don't want to make that shit here. He's like, all that stuff comes from overseas. So I will say this as a blanket statement. President Trump is our president. I might not agree or disagree. I hope he has success because a successful president is good for everybody in the United States. What he's doing right now, I don't understand what he's doing right now. I really don't. Okay. And it's negatively impacting the housing market because people that had jobs, I talked to a guy down in Florida, his wife's in software. She got gunned 3 weeks ago, lost her job. I'm like, what happened? He's like, she was the first one to go.
Yeah.
They do a lot of contracts with the government, software. She got gunned 3 weeks ago. He wants to buy a second home. He's like, hey, follow up in the spring. Followed up in the spring. He's like, I don't know if I'm gonna buy a second home anymore. So all it's doing is it's creating a lot of uncertainty with prospective buyers. It's creating a lot of uncertainty with prospective sellers because the last thing you want to do is sell your house, go buy another place, and then you lose your job in the middle of the process, and then you can't get financing. It's put a lot of pressure on rates on the upward side for those that are loaded with debt. And the only thing they have is equity in their home to cash in to pay off their debt. And I could have debates with everybody all day long if that's the right or wrong thing to do. Stay in your lane. They're grown adults. They want to convert the equity in their home to pay off debt to reduce their monthly payment, enhance their credit. It is what it is. But now you just cost them 0.5 point and made it more difficult for them to qualify for a refinance. So whatever happens, I hope the people that are making the decisions just shut the fuck up and just do it, right? I mean, it's like, stop talking about it and do it. Because every time they open their mouth, it freaks out the market, and we're going on an upward, downward mobile here. The seesaw is not good.
And David, that's a great point. The seesaw is not good. The seesaw is killing us. And again, I appreciate your patriotic answer. You want Trump to be a success. You want America to be a success. We just got to know what the deal is, and nobody seems to know what the deal is. Everybody listening to us, again, I don't know of anyone in this country who's smarter and more capable when it comes to the real estate market than my longtime friend, David Hochberg. His website is 56david.com. Buying, selling a home. Just a question about the real estate market anywhere in the country. Reach out to my friend, David Hochberg, 56david.com. Check out his weekend radio show every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on WGN Radio out of Chicago. David's going to be a regular face around with me. My friend, David Hochberg, you're the best. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Send my best, Liam.
Thanks,
Talk
David.
to you later, buddy.
Thanks, David. Hey, TikTok, awesome. Thank you for hanging in there. Hopefully you could hear that, everybody. David Hochberg, great guy, so knowledgeable. What's the moral of that story? The real estate market, like everything else, is getting more expensive because of Trump's tariffs, because of the uncertainty around Trump's tariffs. That's all. And again, I know MAGA, you'll defend him until you drop, but the uncertainty isn't helping anyone. As David Hochberg said, the seesaw, up and down, tariffs on, tariffs off, tariffs at 100%, tariffs at 70%. This is killing people, and it's not just killing rich, wealthy people. This is impacting regular people. Damn it, it's impacting regular people. So my last plug for Hochberg, again, his website, 56david.com. Reach out to him with all of your real estate questions. I got 2 other quickies today, right now. You talk TikTok about Trump's tariffs. Can I just say this? Can I just say this? Donald Trump, I mean this, is the biggest crybaby in all of human history. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. Has there ever been a human being that has cried as much as Trump, that has complained as much as Trump, that has whined as much as Trump, that has said, I've been treated unfairly as much as Trump? Has there ever been a human being who's ever lived who's played the victim, the poor little victim, as much as Donald Trump? Here's the deal. Trump's a crybaby, but here's the deal. Everybody who works for Trump, I think it must be part of the job description. You got to be a crybaby too. So get this. Earlier today or late yesterday, Amazon came out and said, speaking of Trump's tariffs, from now on, Amazon is going to put a notice on all of their products, specifically detailing what Trump's tariffs have added to the cost of whatever product. Here's what this product cost. Here's what this product costs now because of Trump's tariffs. Amazon came out and said, we're going to start to do that. We'll publicly put it out here. This pair of shoes, this refrigerator, whatever, this is what it now costs. This is the increase specifically because of Trump's tariffs. And wouldn't you know, this morning, Trump's press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt, comes out and calls that, what did he call it? What did she call it, Keith? A hostile and political act. Caroline Leavitt came out this morning, she's Trump's press secretary, and trashed Amazon because of Amazon's plan to display the Trump tariff increase at every checkout. A hostile and political act, Trump's press secretary cried just this morning. A hostile and political act? Let me get this right. Thank you, Keith. Trump throws out this tariff shit, which is just a tax increase on you and me, a tax increase, MAGA, on everybody listening to me right now. Trump does that. Amazon, like every other company in the world now, is going to increase their prices of everything. Everything you buy, MAGA, is going to be more expensive because of Trump's tariffs. So Amazon puts that out there for the world to see. Used to be $100, now it's $120, whatever, the pair of shoes, because of Trump's tariffs. And what does Team Trump do about it? They whine. They complain. They cry about it. It's a hostile act. It's a political act. They attack Amazon. They attack the messenger. Like, everything you're going to buy is more expensive. Amazon's just telling you that. You should get mad at Team Trump for making everything more expensive. I don't know, from where I sit, from where I come from, that's the hostile act, right? Making what you buy more expensive, that's the hostile act, not Amazon telling you that all these products of theirs now are going to be more expensive. Oh no, Frederick. Little Donald Trump's got his feelings hurt. Just listen to Trump every day. He's the one who's done this to the economy. Like, Trump inherited, you know what that means? He was given TikTok. Donald Trump was given, by every measure, the strongest economy in the industrialized world, the strongest post-COVID economy in the industrialized world. And in 100 days, it's 100 days today, Trump has utterly fucked it up, wrecked it. People being laid off, people seeing their 401ks decimated, people beginning to feel price increases. Trump's done that. Trump's tariffs have done that. The uncertainty around Trump's tariffs have done that. By the way, again, MAGA, if you're going to defend his tariffs, fine, but you can't defend the way he's done this, right? Liberation Day, tariffs here, and then about 3 weeks later, people say, Trump, you got to, Donald, you, dear leader, you got to do something. So he changes everything. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody out here in America knows what's going on with Trump's tariffs. Whose fault is that, Ted? That's Trump's. But he and his people, they cry and they stomp their feet and get mad at Amazon. Because Amazon came out yesterday and said, we're going to let the American people see on everything they buy, at every checkout, we're going to let the American people see the specific amount, the specific price increase because of Trump's tariffs. And Team Trump cries and gets angry at Amazon. Biggest crybabies in the history of the world. One more thing, baby. I mean, Trump's on a roll. Trump's on a roll. And MAGA, I want you to listen to me. Every Trump supporter right now, doggone it, I want you to listen to me. North of us, up north of us, in Canada, the Liberal Party came from nowhere and won a big election in Canada last night. You know who did that? Hey, MAGA, you know who got the Liberal Party elected last night in Canada? You know who single-handedly delivered an election victory to the Liberal Party in Canada last night? Your guy, your dear leader, your Lord and Savior, Donald Trump did that. Donald Trump single-handedly gave a victory to the Liberal Party in Canada last night. It's just the coolest thing. It's the damnedest thing. I think it's the funniest thing. And it's really funny, and I'm having a good time with this today, last night and today, watching Trump's supporters twist and turn and like pretzels, trying to understand and defend their dear leader. Look at this graph. Keith, we got that on courtesy of Guy Benson. Maybe you can't see this, TikTok, everybody else, but that blue line, that's the Conservative Party in Canada. And that pink reddish line, that's the Liberal Party. And for months and months and months, the Conservatives were kicking butt in Canada. They were way, way up on the Liberal Party in Canada. They had a big, big lead in Canada until Donald Trump got sworn in and started talking about making Canada the 51st state. And from that point forward, and then when Trump on a daily basis continued to badmouth Canada and then threw down crazy-ass tariffs against Canada, but every single day Donald Trump said Canada should be America's 51st state. And keep that up, Keith. From that point forward, the Liberal Party started to go like this, TikTok. And the race completely changed. And the Conservative Party started to go like this until we got to Election Day yesterday. And the Liberal Party, John, soared ahead. I mean, it's an amazing moment. The Conservative Party way up. Trump says, let's make Canada the 51st state. Oops, it utterly changed the race. And people went to the polls in Canada yesterday pissed off at Trump. People went to the polls in Canada yesterday all psyched to defend their sovereignty. And the Conservative candidate got spanked because of Trump. The Liberal candidate won big because of Trump. And here's the cool thing, Trump supporters. Donald Trump yesterday in an interview acknowledged that. Trump yesterday in an interview with The Atlantic said, look at that. I got the Liberal Party candidate elected. I helped the Liberal Party win. So Trump supporters, your own guy, TikTok, your own dude, your dear leader is bragging about giving victory to the Liberal Party in Canada. And look, this isn't about Trump's ego. This is worse than that. This is worse than that. By attacking Canada and saying that he wanted to make Canada the 51st state, Donald Trump pissed off every Canadian. And man, they came out to the polls yesterday and they said, we're going to vote for the party that Trump opposes. What happened in Canada last night is a reminder that nobody gets liberals out more than Trump does. Nobody gets progressives out to vote more than Trump does. Nobody gets the left out to vote more than Trump does. Nobody gets Democrats out to vote more than Trump does. See, the beautiful thing here, Trump supporters, is you can't deny what happened. Donald Trump, on a silver platter, gave a big victory to the Liberal Party in Canada last night. I'm not crying. I love it. I'm laughing. I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious. And I'm going to have so much fun these next few days watching Trump supporters try to defend their dear leader. Oh, man, it's going to be entertaining. Hey, thank you for listening. You got an email you want to send to me? Do it. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. All one word. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know what you think about Trump and tariffs. And God bless Canada, man. Thank you, Donald Trump. Bunch of people, everybody in Canada, say all the liberals in Canada thanking Donald Trump today. It's just the best. Thank you for listening. Have a good Tuesday. Be brave, everybody. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social Contract with